on Tap? And it's a bonus hour with a bona fide Wisconsin legend.
A Wisconsin eccentric.
Oh, that we can check a lot of boxes. That is the voice of Violent Femmes founding member and original drummer, Victor DeLorenzo. Victor,
That is my voice.
welcome to What's on Tap. How are you?
Miss Maximus, it's very nice to be here with you this evening.
It is. It has been a while since I have gotten to enjoy your company in human form. You know, get to hear your music, get to chat with you.
I know, like I said before, I've seen you, but I haven't had a chance to speak with you. So this is really nice to spend a little early fall evening with you like
Well,
this.
wonderful. Well, welcome. I'm glad you're here. And as I just did the brief introduction, not only will we talk about Violent Femmes, but you have other musical projects. You have a short film, and you have a birthday celebration to invite everyone to on Saturday, don't you?
Goshies.
So we have things to talk about. And, you know, we have the Siding Unlimited WTMJ talk and text line, 855-616-1620. If you have a question for Victor, why not ask? 855-616-1620. Ask your Victor, not quite ask your neighbor. But it is fun just walking in. And while you were chilling in the green room area, it's fun that you found out that WTMJ's Sean Brinda is a music fan who immediately had questions for you.
Yes, he was interrogating me. He wanted to ask all the pertinent questions, and he did, by God. And I was happy to talk with him about the first Violent Femmes album and how we recorded it and what was the reaction and when it first came out. He asked me, how long was it before you became famous? I said, well, the record came out, and about 6 months later, it started to really pick up, especially at college radio. College radio is really what happened with the Femmes as far as us getting popular. The mainstream media caught in after that, but the main impetus was from college radio, thank God.
Well, because that would have been early 80s.
Right?
And
82.
I would say just before MTV, and
Right.
MTV was not interested in that alternative, what wound up being 120 minutes and that style
Right.
of music. And in the 80s, you had lots of top 40 with Casey Kasem's Countdown, or what a lot of us grew up with, classic rock stations. Those were your real FM and maybe country,
And
depending on what
a lot
region.
of hair bands. A lot of hair bands were being featured, and we didn't have that much hair. We were more like some psychedelic farmers from Milwaukee.
That's a great explanation. And so now that I love that now people are like, oh, yeah, that's who Victor DeLorenzo is. And what is the first thing you think of when you hear this sound? Oh, you don't have your headphones on.
Oh, well, nothing.
Here we go. Hold on. Here we go. When you hear this sound.
One more time.
Okay. This is the sound.
Those are my stutter flams. That is me playing on a snare drum with brushes. I've kind of bastardized the drum rudiment called a flam, and I refer to them as stutter flams because I'm playing them a little bit incorrectly.
But perfectly.
Well, it heralds the beginning of that song, so yeah, I guess it is.
And when you hear that moment of Blister in the Sun, when you're at a Bucks game, at a Brewers game, or maybe listening on the radio, and you hear that in the background, how does that make you feel?
Well, for a second, I'm just amazed that it's even being used after 40 years. And the second thing I think is, oh, that's nice. They'll probably be putting a little bit of money in the coffers.
Sure, that's what you'd like to make a living as an artist.
That's right.
And so it's great that very first Violent Femmes album does live on, not just as an influential album, as one of those albums that's going to go down as a fan favorite, but that it really has this staying power.
Yeah, it's amazing that still after 40 years, it's so popular, and it's almost like a touchstone that's handed down from generation to generation. I still get emails, and if people find my phone number, they send me texts, but they're always wanting to know particulars about that first record, which I find interesting because as far as the band is concerned, Gordon, Brian, and myself, we always liked the second record, Hallowed Ground, better. That was our favorite.
Is it because it was deeper storytelling. That's a grim album.
It's a grim album. But
It's a great album, but I mean, it's just like, but it's perfect for Halloween.
Right. It
has dark stories.
It does have a dark
And when
component.
you talk about the Wisconsin psychedelic farmer, that I think that completely is that brand of hallowed ground.
Yeah, but you don't want to be a farmer along the lines of Ed Gein.
No, we were just discussing the fascination with Ed Gein in the Netflix series, which happens to be directed by Henry Winkler's son, Max.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Yep. While Sean Brindo was interrogating you about music questions, that's what I was sharing with WTMJ fans.
You were? Okay.
He is Victor DeLorenzo, founding member of Violent Femmes and original drummer, here to share with us some creative updates and a birthday invitation for you. Stay with us on What's on Tap. Truly iconic music made right here in Milwaukee, Wisconsin by Violent Femmes. And one of those creators, Victor DeLorenzo, who made those semi-flam drum beats.
Stutter Flams.
Stutter Flams drum
Flam,
beats.
F-L-A-M.
Is right here.
Almost like phlegm.
I would say flim flam man. Victor DeLorenzo, my guest at the WTMJ studio. And you said you performed that without the proper technique. How has your drumming style evolved? Were drums your very first instrument?
My very first instrument was viola.
Ooh.
Back in grade school, probably around 4th grade. And we had a teacher that would come in once a week, Mr. Opperkopf, this portly old German fellow. And he tried to get us all interested in string instruments, but at that time, everybody wanted to play guitar or drums.
Guitar is a stringed instrument.
Yeah. And I eventually started playing guitar, and I can fool around on guitar still, and I play a little bit of keyboard, but mostly I'm known for playing drums.
When did you decide drums were your thing?
16 years old. My cousin Michael Fairbanks called me one afternoon. Hey, Vic, I got a friend, Mark Francetic. He's going to Vietnam, and he's got a drum set he would like to sell. Are you interested, or do you know anybody that would be interested? I said, boy, I don't know anybody that would be interested, but I think maybe I might be interested. And I couldn't even comprehend that I was saying that, because I really wasn't thinking about picking up the drums or anything. And I figured, oh, well, okay, I've got some money right now. I was washing dishes at a Holiday Inn in Racine. And I figured, okay, well, maybe I'll help this guy out for my cousin. And so for $350, I had a Slingerland 4-piece drum set complete with cymbals. And for the first 2 weeks, it just sat in my parents' basement. And when I'd come home from school, I would look at it and I'd say hello. And then I'd just go into my room, and I didn't know anything about the drums. I didn't know how to set them up or anything. So finally, I had a friend of mine that was a drummer, quite a good drummer. And he came over and helped me set up the drum set. And then I just, like a lot of people, I just started playing along with records. And then I got serious, and I started studying with a fellow by the name of Joe Police, who was a drum teacher in Racine. And he was a very big in-demand drummer in the 40s and 50s down in Chicago. He did a lot of big band work, and he was a contemporary of Louis Bellson and Buddy Rich and all those kinds of people. So I got my my brush playing, my appreciation and love for the brushes through him, and also I learned how to read rhythmic notation.
What a gift.
Yeah.
And how has your drumming evolved since then?
Well, it's funny.
You've been playing for a minute.
Well, it's funny, Sandy, because I'm just coming back from last February 25th, George Harrison's birthday. I had an accident. I fell down some stairs and I broke my arm in 3 different places. So I haven't played the drums in front of people now for almost a year. And I'm excited to get back to playing. I have been playing for the last 3 weeks in preparation for the show, which is coming up this Saturday, October 25th at the Jazz Estate, or the Estate as it's called. So that's the first time I'm going to be playing drums again in front of an audience in quite a while.
Wow. And it's a birthday celebration show.
It's a birthday celebration on top of it.
And humbly didn't make that part. But so what are you feeling almost a month into returning to drums, is it like riding a bike, or are you making different? Are you already feeling a different technique?
Well, I'm
Because
feeling.
3 places,
I'm
hon.
thinking I'm having an opportunity here now to correct some things about my technique. So I've welcomed that, and I feel that in relearning some of these things or figuring out how to interpret them better, that I'm getting more of an understanding of what it is about why I love to play drums, and also what I like to do when I play the drums as far as how I support other musicians. So it's been another whole other stream of awareness for me coming back from that injury.
You are performing and creating in other bands, but obviously best known for Violent Femmes.
Mm-hmm.
Violent Femmes touring group
Mm-hmm.
just performed back-to-back nights at the Riverside Theater.
Right.
Lots of hoopla. You know John Sparrow. You've performed with John Sparrow, their current drummer. How is that relationship? Because I want to think that it's amicable and you just kind of go in your own spheres, or how does it, is there a twinge when you hear, oh, this is happening and you want to be part of it, or is it just a chapter that's separate and different?
Why do they have to come to Milwaukee during my birthday month? To answer your question, the last
I
time
think that's very human. Thank you.
the last time I saw Gordon and Brian was when we played at Summerfest in 2013. And we've had interactions because of the business. I'm still involved with the business aspect of Violent Femmes. But I haven't really had the occasion to talk with them. I don't really feel as though my identity has gone up in smoke or anything. I'm quite happy to pursue what other kinds of musical ideas that I have. But my main focus now is I've become a filmmaker.
Yes, you have. And I think you're going to be making more films.
That's true.
According to your teases. We're going to find out Victor
And
DeLorenzo.
you might even be in the next film.
Oh, my. This is a surprise. This is breaking news right here. Victor DeLorenzo, founding member of Violent Femmes and current continuing creator. We'll find out more about your musical and film projects next on What's on Tap. No, don't apologize. That is...
I know the guy that's singing that.
And you know that song very well, and you're playing on that song.
I think I've heard it about 10,000 times.
As you should, and plus in your head as you were creating it. Victor DeLorenzo, Violent Femmes founding member and original drummer, and who's playing the xylophone, or is that even a xylophone?
That's Brian Ritchie playing it.
Were you
I'm playing
envious
the snare
of that?
drum, and I'm playing the Dutch marching bass drum.
Ooh.
And singing.
So I brought in WTMJ's Sean Brinda because Sean was very excited to meet you in the green room and had lots of questions to learn about.
Yes, he interrogated me thoroughly.
But that's a good thing because Sean's a music
Yes.
fan. And then Sean, when I asked you, like, what questions did you ask? You just started into a whole bunch more. So what question did you have for Victor about musical instruments?
All right, Sean.
You know, when you're sort of going through that process of looking for a catchy beat when it
Yes.
came to recording the Violent Femmes,
Okay.
you know, what was that process like?
Finding that beat? Well, what's funny about Violent Femmes is when we would get together to rehearse, it was almost a magical occurrence because Gordon would come in and he would have a lyric and he would have probably a melody and roughed out the chords. But then Brian and I would take on the job of producing, arranging the material. So fortunately, as a drummer, I have this ability to just come up with parts pretty fast. I mean, if someone asks me to do something specifically, I can do that as well. But if someone says, well, what do you think about this? What do you want to play? Usually I can come up with something pretty fast. Just because I understand the well, I'm familiar with a lot of different musics, and I love music, and of course I've studied a lot of the great drummers. especially a lot of the jazz drummers who I'm very partial to.
Any
Does that answer it?
particular favorite jazz drummer that you like to refer to?
Oh, Tony Williams. Tony Williams is my god of percussion. He's incredible.
For those who don't know who Tony Williams is,
Tony Williams, when he was 16 years old, he joined Miles Davis and played drums for him for about maybe 4 or 5 years, I think it was. But he was a prodigy, and unfortunately he's no longer with us. But he is certainly one of my very favorite, if not the favorite drummer. But I have so many. I could just name a list for you.
and now you're drumming with other groups.
Yes.
Tell us about 1913.
Oh, well, that's with our old mutual friend, Janet Schiff. She might be listening. Hi, Janet.
Hi, Janet.
And also Matt Meixner is playing keyboards with us now. So 1913 has evolved into a trio now. And if anyone is confused, there is another version of 1913 that does not include me, but is 3 women. And Janet got that together because, oh boy, when was it? Close to a year? No. Yeah, over a year ago, I went up to Canada because I was working on a record there. I was playing on a record for Astrid Young, who's Neil Young's sister. And it was being produced by the famous Eddie Kramer from, of course, Jimi Hendrix fame. And I had to leave Milwaukee when there were some shows on the books for 1913. So our friend Luna, or Renee, came into the fold and took over my drum chair. And now there's 2 versions of 1913. So sometimes when I can't play a gig, Luna will take over the gig, good old Renee. And the version of 1913 that is going to be performing this Saturday at the estate will be myself and Janet and Matt.
It's interesting that 1913 can be this evolving musical amoeba, because 1913 really is the age of the cello, as long as the cello is there.
Right.
And the mistress of the cello, Janet.
Yes,
So
the first lady of the cello.
And I love that creativity can happen and that it does evolve and it
Right.
doesn't necessarily go away and you roll right back in.
Right.
And that no one is offended. It's just, okay, these are the right parts at the right time and the right performances, and that it didn't have to go away and stop because you had a different creative project.
Right. Well, I think that just is a testament to the kind of people that Janet and I are, where we could just deal with that problem and find a solution for it. And it has...
Instead of creative differences. Hooray!
Right.
And you talk about Renee.
Yeah.
Renee is an artist, a visual artist, and a henna artist as well. And then she's married to another artist named Todd Mrozinski.
That's
so
right.
this creative community that we have here is really heartening and enlightening. So 1913, Saturday at your birthday celebration,
That's right.
2 shows. You're having 2 birthday parties at the
That's
Jazz
right.
Estate.
A
Like you
7
said, we
and
just called the
9:30.
estate. And you've been at the Jazz Estate as a fan and performing on that tiny stage for how many years now?
Oh, God, so many years.
A neighborhood haunt for you.
Decades. But
other-
John Dye, who has taken over the club now, has done a terrific job. It's such a beautiful club now. The sound system is first class. They make wonderful cocktails. I love the people that work there.
That's a special, special space.
It is a wonderful place, and I was very scared for a while because I thought it was going to go away, and it did go away for a while. But thank God that John brought it back.
Good.
And I know it's doing well now too. I think it's only open 3 nights a week. Is it Thursday, Friday, and Saturday?
No,
I
that's
think?
how a lot of clubs, have to
right.
evolve. If you're open on a Tuesday and nobody's there, then
right.
that's all right. Have the evenings that you are open thriving. What else is in store?
Well, one thing I was going to say is when you brought up that term creative differences, I was going to say that's how I describe my how would I say now? In my interactions with Violent Femmes, Gordon and Brian, I used to say, just as a joke, I was trying to be creative and they couldn't tell the difference. That's a little joke. Very little.
We're going to talk about more of your creative activities, including, yes, your new film.
Oh, yes.
Ooh, Victor DeLorenzo's visual art. Next on What's on Tap.
Welcome back to What's on Tap on WTMJ.
I'm not too worried about my eccentric behavior. I think sometimes it offends people, but my mother was the same way. She had a very dramatic flair about her. In fact, let me tell you a little story about her. She used to like to play this character called the Bone Lady. And the Bone Lady was from Sandwich, Illinois. And she would be dressed impeccably from head to toe in gold lame. And she had a gold turban upon her head. But the thing that made her the Bone Lady was she had a gold cord around her neck, which was fastened to a white rubber bone. Hello? The Bone Lady. Is this what they call dead air? No? She was fun in those times.
That is a moment from Victor DeLorenzo's new short film, Mary for the Block.
Correct.
And that is a moment of you in the past office, if I am correct, in the kitchenette of your recording studio.
Mm-hmm.
And before I ask the plot and the meaning of the title to get everybody up to speed on this new 22-minute short film you have written and created, tell me about that story. Is that something you have invented? Is that a true story?
Well, when people ask me
really
when they say, what is your film about, Victor? I usually say, well, it's a fictionalized version of my life, but I included a lot more lies. and what I mean by that is that I've taken liberties with my own story. And for this particular short film, the main character is having a little bit of difficulty trying to reconcile some things that happened to him when he was younger. And so I'm relating in that particular monologue a story about the characters talking about his mother and how in the 60s, of course, there was a lot of drinking going on and smoking. And my parents were certainly no different. Oh, I gave it away, my parents. But anyway, my mother had a drinking problem, so sometimes I would have to take care of her, and that would involve dragging her to her bedroom off of a couch. And so I got that into the story as one of the reasons why this character is trying to excavate his past and try and cure some of these bad memories as best as he can. So that's it. But it's not a completely dark film.
No.
There's some humor in it.
Well, I mean, the Bone Lady itself was like, oh,
yes.
Okay, because what I do enjoy about your film is it's compelling and you don't know where it's going.
Mm-hmm.
It's not anarchy, but it's not a story where like, oh, okay, here's what's going to happen and this character is going to appear and he's probably going to behave this way. It's
Right.
a journey. It's truly a journey
Right.
through your thoughts and your life.
Mm-hmm.
But the Bone Lady did make me laugh. And what did the Bone Lady do early in your? Because you just mentioned that it is
I
a true story.
mentioned to Sandy that a couple of the big Violent Femmes shows that we had here in Milwaukee, down at the lakefront, when of course we're playing Summerfest, the Bone Lady would appear to introduce us, and she would say that she was here because she was very good friends with us, and she made the trip from Sandwich, Illinois. To come up and introduce her boys, as she would say. But that was just
had to have been pretty compelling. Part of the whole show.
Oh, it was just fun because my mom was that kind of a character. She was very dramatic, and she loved to show off the drama. But, I just thought that was funny that she came up with this idea on her own of assuming this character, the Bone Lady, who wore this plastic bone around her neck, and wore gold lame with a gold lame turban, and she had hair like Lucille Ball, and of course also she had the lipstick, like from the 60s that was that kind of tangerine color.
It's going to stain, yeah.
Yeah. But she was something. I wish she was around so she could see the film, because I think she would get a kick out of it. But she does appear, the Bone Lady does appear in the next film, which I've already written, which goes before cameras next spring. And that film is called Sandwich.
You are prolific.
And I'm working on the third one now.
A trilogy.
It's a trilogy, yes.
Wow. Now, in the trilogy, Mary from the Block,
Yes.
without any spoilers, what does the title insinuate? What does it mean?
Well, the whole film takes place in the vicinity of one square block.
Aha.
And at the corner of one of the blocks is a church. And there is a statue alongside the church of Mary, the Virgin Mary. And this particular character, Richard is his name in the film, he likes to go and sit on this bench and look at Mary when he's thinking about musical problems. So if someone's watching the film, they might think, well, there's a direct religious overtone to this film. But I didn't really think of it that way. But if people want to gather that from the film, that's quite all right. But for me, I was almost thinking this character would sit there because it was a nice afternoon and he was thinking about something that was bothering him, a musical problem or something personal, whatever it is. And he needed a place to focus so he could let his mind wander. And so he would sit there and look at this statue. And the statue starts to interact with the characters. So that's part of the story, but I don't want to talk too much about it.
I agree. And you mentioned that it's all within one block.
Yes.
So this means there's a cool store on this block.
That's right. There's a very nice comic book store called The Turning Page, which the fellow Zach was very kind to let us film in there. So there's a really nice scene that happens in there.
And that's where a lot of the comedy is.
Yes.
And a cat.
Yes, and the cat, right?
And so I want to talk more. It's called Mary for the Block.
Yes.
See it on YouTube.
Right.
Best bet.
Well, it's
search
on
Victor
my
DeLorenzo
YouTube channel.
YouTube.
Yes, on my channel.
Mary for the Block,
Right.
a 22-minute independent film by Victor DeLorenzo. I want to ask you more.
It was just in the Toronto Film Festival, too.
Okay, then I want to ask about
And
the
it got a
film's...
special mention.
Ooh. Oh, congratulations.
Thank you.
There is more to find out about the inspiration for the soon-to-be trilogy of films and also some of the people participating in the creation and participation of the film. So stay with me and Victor DeLorenzo on What's on Tap.
Welcome back to What's on Tap on WTMJ.
Welcome back to What's on Tap, where my in-studio guest is Victor DeLorenzo.
Thank you, Sandy.
You're welcome, founding member of Violent Femmes, original drummer, and continuing creator in the band's 1913, the Night Crickets, who we didn't even talk about on this visit, maybe in the future.
Yes.
Hosting a birthday celebration at the Jazz Estate on Saturday. Everyone
Yes.
is invited, 2 shows. But you're also now, well, you've always been an actor, but is this your first film that you have made?
Well, yes, under my own power. This is the first film. And it's funny the way...
I say Mary from the Block. You
Mary
can find
for
it on,
the Block.
Oh, excuse me.
Yeah.
Mary.
And the reason why it's Mary for the Block is, as I said before, everything takes place in this vicinity of one block.
Right
but
here in
also,
Milwaukee.
if you think of the physical aspect of someone blocking, Mary for the Block.
You as a Packers fan, is that what you're thinking?
Well, not relating it to football, but certainly trying to block one's emotions so they're not so hard on oneself. That's what I was trying to get across.
A 22-minute short film. You can find it on YouTube, Mary for the Block.
Yes, on my YouTube channel.
Victor DeLorenzo. I will call it compelling. I will call it interesting. A journey that I enjoyed following. Local filming locations.
Yes.
And I'm a credits watcher. So I love seeing, oh, look, I thought the director did a great job. There's even, I would just say, one scene where a cat is involved. That's all I will say. And Jerry the cat, I believe, is in the credits. But I'm a credits watcher, and it was fun to see who's in it. I saw some other DeLorenzos.
Yes.
And I also saw Willem Dafoe getting
well,
credited.
I just thanked Willem because he was advising me a little bit. I sent him the script, and he gave me some comments about it.
What a wonderful collaborator. And how far back do you and
Well, I know
Oscar-nominated actor Willem Dafoe go?
I'm not sure if people recognize this about me, but I started out in entertainment as an actor. And I was here in Milwaukee at UWM studying theater and comparative literature and music. And one afternoon there was a little sign on the theater bulletin board saying that they were going to be doing auditions for a man and a woman for Theater X. And I didn't really know that much about Theater X at that time. But I decided I would go and audition for the company just to see if I could even do an audition. I had never done one. So I went down to Racine first, where I'm from, and there was an audition for a play down there, and I did do an audition, and I got the part.
Ooh.
But then I had to tell the director, I'm sorry, I just wanted to do this audition, so I had one under my belt
you could prove you could do it. Get your
I did the
confidence
one I
up.
really wanted to do. But he was really nice, and he said, okay, I understand. So I went and auditioned, and out of the 35 males that they looked at, I got the part. So I came in and I replaced Willem, who was getting ready to go to New York. I replaced him in a show called The Wreck of Romance. And then I was with Theater X for a few years, and then Violent Femmes happened, and then I was straddling between the two of them. Whenever I was in town and I wasn't on tour, I would try to do a play with Theater X. So,
And did Willem Dafoe hear how great his replacement was?
well, he picked me.
Oh, wow.
He helped pick me come into the company. So I would think that he must know something about something.
Oh, that's terrific. So he gave you some feedback on your script and gave you, hey, I think you should make this?
I sent him the finished film, Mary for the Block, and he gave me comments about that. And he might have something to do with this next one. I'm not sure.
How fun. But what a wonderful collaborator and someone that you can turn to who's had such a breadth of experience, of truly creative experience himself.
Yeah. Another great Wisconsin eccentric and very down-to-earth person, and certainly very well equipped to do those films that he does on a regular basis. It almost seems like he's in every film that comes out.
And makes them better.
That's right.
Victor DeLorenzo has your personal invitation to his birthday celebration. Next on What's on Tap.
Here's a penny for your thoughts. There's about 11.
Welcome back to What's on Tap, sponsored by Visit Milwaukee. Thank you so much for hanging out with me on this supersized show. And Victor DeLorenzo,
Yes.
Violent Femmes founding member,
Yes.
original drummer, continual creator, and now
yes.
exactly filmmaker and film star,
Oh, my gosh.
Mary to the Block.
For the Block.
For the Block. See, Mary for the Block. I was going to do, number 4. Mary for the Block is his 22-minute short film. Look for it on YouTube, on the Victor DeLorenzo YouTube channel.
Correct.
You'll be delighted at the storytelling and at the Milwaukee visuals. And look for the cat.
Mm-hmm. That seems to be your favorite.
It's entertaining. The cat is entertaining. That's what I would just say. Not the star, good supporting actor. And so that's one of the best ways to keep up with you. What's another good way to keep up with Victor DeLorenzo's creative adventures?
Well, as you had mentioned, I'm going to have this little birthday celebration this coming Saturday at the Estate. 7 o'clock and 9:30 are the times for the two shows. And as a little teaser, let me feature for you right now a little song by Yoko Ono that we will be fleshing out a little bit more on Saturday. Who has seen the wind? Neither you nor I. But when the trees bow down their heads, the wind is passing by.
That is lovely. And 1913 will be performing in its entirety.
That's true.
With you on drums. And welcome back to drumming. We look forward to seeing you and celebrating your birthday.
You know, there will also be some background singers, which I have named the Vicettes.
That's a good name. You can find Victor DeLorenzo, DeLoren. My gosh, look at me. I was trying to go too fast. Victor, DeLorenzo.
Correct.
On X and Instagram. Spelling Bee. Musician Spelling Bee. Thank you so much for joining me. And if you missed any part of this conversation, catch up on the podcast. What's on Tap on WTMJ.